leading the way with important local coverage. You're watching WISN 12 News at 6.
In 2005, you sounded the alarm and asked Congress for more money to plan for a pandemic.
I did.
12 News investigates a pandemic plan put in place in 2005. Next, the nation's former Health and Human Services Secretary, Tommy Thompson, on whether it was followed. Milwaukee fire crews now in COVID-19 mode. The protective gear you'll see them in as they respond to calls. And which restaurant is now giving out toilet paper with takeout orders? First at 6, Milwaukee County health experts say they continue to see a surge in coronavirus cases among all genders, ages, and races.
They reported 123 new cases today, bringing Milwaukee County's overall count to 833. Milwaukee County also reported 4 more deaths today, bringing the county's death toll to 16. That's nearly half of the state's 34 coronavirus deaths. There are also 398 hospitalizations in Wisconsin. That's 26% of overall cases. And Sheboygan County reported its first death today at the Sunny Ridge Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Sheboygan. They said 2 other residents and a caregiver also tested positive. They are currently in isolation. Now, former Wisconsin governor and U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Tommy Thompson said he put a pandemic plan together back in 2005. 12 News' Terry Sater joins us now live. And Terry, you spoke with the governor today. Was that plan ever put in place?
Well, Joyce, you can see the emergency tent outside Aurora Summit Hospital here. And this is a New York Times article talking about Tommy Thompson's pandemic plan 15 years ago. A warning, Joyce, he said, the nation did not heed.
And I said, someday a virus is going to come and it's going to paralyze America.
In 2005, you sounded the alarm and asked Congress for more money to plan for a pandemic.
I did.
How did we do?
We did terribly.
As Secretary of Health and Human Services, it was former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson's job to see pandemic warning signs and call for a national response from Congress. Here's Thompson in April of 2005.
More than likely, we will have a pandemic in our lifetime, and what we have to do is get better prepared for it than we are right now. And what should have taken place is they should have invested money. And what we needed to do was need to put ventilators and masks and hospital beds and more medicines in there. And we failed to do that.
Following Thompson's warnings, 12 News started asking tough questions of state officials 15 years ago.
So what's being done to prepare for a full-scale health emergency?
That same year, 12 News obtained a copy of the Wisconsin pandemic plan.
There are plans and practice drills, protective clothing and masks.
We talked to state epidemiologist Thomas Haupt.
Our plan has several different aspects to it, and it's something that has been taken and used by other states as a model.
The model to stockpile personal protective equipment fell short. 15 years later, there's a shortage of ventilators and masks.
Once we get through this, that we'll never let this happen again, that we will get better prepared for future viruses, future epidemics, pandemics, because they're going to come.
So, Terry, how does the former governor think the federal government is responding now?
Well, Joyce, Thompson said he talked to Trump when he was president-elect about a pandemic plan. Generally, he gives federal and state authorities high marks, given the lack of planning and preparation he says would have helped save lives. Now, Joyce.
Terry Sater reporting live. Patrick, back to you.
All right, Joyce, we'll see you in just a little bit. Grocery store workers are in high demand right now. Today, people looking for work lined up, hoping to be hired. 12 News' Nick Bohr is live at the Milwaukee Pick and Save. Nick, the way we shop is changing dramatically, and the company is trying to keep up with demand.
Right, Patrick. Job fairs held at Pick and Save's about a dozen around the state today, looking to hire 500 people, mostly to pick orders inside the store and bring them out to the cars or deliver them. It really has changed the way people shop, and they're looking for those people, many of them recently out of work because of COVID-19. An hour before the interviews even started at the East Point Pick and Save, people were lining up, if a little too closely at first.
We're certainly asking them, those that are outside, to keep their distance. Inside, we have tape on the floor. We have 6-foot distances.
As the line spread out, the waits for an interview did too. Applicants vying for some 500 jobs immediately available.
I'm looking for a way to pay for rent and stuff like that.
Benny Cleveland was just laid off at the downtown Hilton.
I'm pretty optimistic because on the website they said that they needed the help. So that right there kind of puts a good feeling that I might get it.
Pick and Save is hiring mostly personal shoppers for its pickup and delivery service. The demand has more than doubled in the last 2 weeks, and the wait time has ballooned from 4 hours to 3 days. Amira Brown was hired on the spot.
Everywhere else is pretty much closed right now, so this is pretty much my only option, and I need to be able to take care of some bills and stuff at home with my family.
Pick and Save's Jim Highland says even if the help is only temporary, they'll take it.
We're going to be flexible, so if some of these people are hotel workers or hospitality industry workers or restaurant workers who have temporarily lost their job, if they want to go back when the world catches its breath and the economy recovers, then they can go back. We'll let them do that. You know, we understand a lot of people are unemployed. We need help. They can help us.
Pick and Save is owned by Kroger, and Nick, there's a distribution center in Oconomowoc. They're looking for help too, right?
Right, they're still looking for 100 more people. The workers there were told, many of them working double shifts just to try to keep up with this demand for groceries with so many people at home. Patrick.
Nick Bohr reporting live in Pewaukee tonight. If you're out of work, you can file for unemployment with the Department of Workforce Development online. We've posted a link on WISN.com. You can also call 844-910-3661. The number is right there on your screen. We do know the state is experiencing a large number of calls and the wait times are long. At this hour, Wisconsin's election scheduled for April 7th is still on. Voters in the state have requested more than 1 million absentee ballots. As for Election Day, Governor Tony Evers says he's planning to use members of the Wisconsin National Guard to assist poll workers. Milwaukee's Election Commission director said he made the request at least 45 days ago and was originally told Guard members would not be made available.
It's a little too late, really, to integrate members of the National Guard into the operations of our polling sites right now, besides exercising, obviously, some good crowd management and enforcing of social distancing.
Right now, the Guard is figuring out how many troops it can make available for each county. The governor says the Guard's help may still not satisfy the staffing needs. And as we talk about the election, let's go back to Joyce. Joyce, Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders says Wisconsin should delay the election.
And Patrick, he is weighing in on Twitter. He tweeted this today, quote, "People shouldn't have to put their lives on the line to vote. Wisconsin should join the 15 states delaying elections, delay Tuesday's vote, extend early voting, and work to send every voter a ballot by mail." Meantime, a new Marquette Law School poll out today says 51% of voters think the date should indeed be moved. 44% say it should stay as scheduled. As for the candidates, former Vice President Joe Biden has a commanding lead heading into Tuesday's presidential primary. He's polling ahead of Senator Sanders 62 to 34% in the Marquette poll. 12 News' Matt Smith asked the poll director about that split.
Walk me through the big difference we've seen specifically for Joe Biden in this.
Well, this is the enormous change that we've seen in the Democratic race. I think the big uncertainty and certainly the caution to listeners to this is that we're in unprecedented waters in terms of absentee ballots becoming a dominant part of the election, and the uncertainties about how turnout will look in person on Tuesday.
There is also concern amid the pandemic about the DNC going on here at Fiserv Forum as scheduled. In an interview with MSNBC, former Vice President Joe Biden said he cannot envision Milwaukee's big event moving forward as planned for July.
Can you really envision every prominent Democrat in this country from all 50 states inside a hot arena 104 days from now?
It's hard to envision that. Again, we should listen to the scientists.
And today's Marquette poll shows 62% of those surveyed think the DNC should not be held as an in-person event. Patrick?
Joyce, thank you. The state's safer at home order might be causing some confusion for people. 12 News' Sarah Tamer is live in Wauwatosa. Sarah, you spoke with police there about how they're enforcing the order.
I did, Patrick. And police want to remind people, while you can be out and about in public on a beautiful day like today, these guys skateboarding here, they want to remind people that they will be enforcing the safer at home order if they catch people gathered in large crowds.
There's definitely a lot less people out and about. Traffic is less, especially in the morning and evening rush.
Wauwatosa Police Captain Brian Zalewski says for the most part, people seem to be complying with the state's safer at home order.
There are a lot of exceptions that do allow people to leave their houses. In fact, they're encouraged to get out and to walk and to exercise and to do things as long as they're complying with social distancing.
Zalewski says part of enforcing the order is making sure people understand the rules.
A group of kids that are playing basketball at a park, or a group of individuals playing soccer. And although it might not be an organized activity, those types of team sports and those gatherings are prohibited.
We're just here playing basketball.
Tevin Bailey says he and his nephew decided to play basketball only because there was no one else at the court.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because of the coronavirus. If there's a chance I could get it, but I wouldn't do that.
Domino effect. Nobody wants to bring it home to somebody else.
Zalewski says the focus is on stopping the spread of COVID-19. The department will be fining people up to $500 or more if they don't abide.
As this goes on longer and longer and people understand what it's about, we will increase our enforcement. And if people are blatantly violating the order, we will make arrests and we will issue citations.
Well, Sarah, has the department responded to any specific calls of people violating the order?
Well, Patrick, Captain Zalewski says most calls that they've responded to have been to businesses that weren't sure if they were deemed essential.
Sarah Tamer reporting live in Wauwatosa. Sarah, thank you. And so many of you have been asking how you can help. You can donate to the WISN and Hunger Task Force online food drive. All funds raised will help the Hunger Task Force provide healthy food to families in need during the coronavirus pandemic. The online food drive will run all month. As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, less than 24 hours in, you've helped us raise $9,100. There is a link to donate on WISN.com. Weather Watch 12 now. After 6 days in a row of clouds, the sun feels amazing, and there is more on the way, Mark.
There is more to come, something to enjoy. A lot of you out there right now watching from the top of the U.S. Bank building, looking back down. This is Lakeshore State Park. Good social distancing going on here. Liking what I'm seeing. Just watch out. It's going to be nice weather. I know everybody has spring fever. You're going to want to get outside. Don't all go to the same place. Don't all go down to the lakeshore, because what's going to happen, there's going to be too many of you there, and eventually you'll likely see that close. So let's keep that from happening. Temperatures this evening near the lake a little bit cooler. If you're inland, it's warmer, but we'll drop back down into the 30s as we head throughout this evening. More sunshine on the way and much warmer temperatures on the way as well. We'll time that out coming up in Weather Watch 12.
They are the first responders who do the job despite a pandemic. Next at 6, why Milwaukee firefighters will look a little different while responding to calls.
No one ever predicted we'd have to make this type of adjustment.
Plus, the Marquette men's basketball coach tells 12 Sports' Stephanie Sutton the challenges of recruiting players during the coronavirus pandemic. And coming up tonight at 10, Wisconsin dairy farmers are facing a milk dumping dilemma, why some are tossing milk out during the coronavirus pandemic, and how they say the government can help. And buyer beware, a warning about fake ads for bogus coronavirus vaccines and masks. What to look out for. That's coming up tonight at 10 after the Goldbergs, Modern Family, and David Blaine, The Magic Way, right here on WISN 12.